Evelyn writes in and she says, question, when Paul wrote Romans 14, did the discrepancy between Sabbath or Sunday already exist? If it did not yet exist, is it correct to use Romans 14 today in order to leave Sabbath observance as a matter of opinion for believers? Okay.
That's an awesome point. Can I answer it?
Absolutely. Go for it.
I would say if you haven't, look at Tim Hagg's Romans commentary, chapter 14. It's a great question. And my answer is right along with that. You'll find, no different from what you'll find there is, this Saturday, Sunday issue was not an issue in the 50s.
Right.
Sabbath is a presumed commandment, right? It's just a given. They're not, when it talks about honoring the day and not honoring the day, it's not talking about the Sabbath. And we also have to look at later scribal tradition. There are some Christian later scribes, like centuries later, that add phrases there. And then you have to look, and you'll see that most obviously if you compare, let's say, the NASB with the King James, where there's Romans 14 has additional sections, just like we see in Acts 15, Acts 21. There are later scribal additions that make it into what we call the Textus Receptus, and therefore inform the King James. I'm a fan of the King James in many places, but if you're going to read the King James, and you're looking at Romans 14 or Acts 15, you've got to look. You can still look at the King James, but make sure you look at an NASB, a Net Bible, right? ESV, any of those.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, somebody was talking about the Council of Laodicea, and actually, I've been wondering if. So I'm thinking about doing an in-depth study on the Council of Laodicea.
I think you should.
I think I probably should as well. It's interesting because some of the things that I've just been studying recently is the fact that at the Council of Laodicea, they say that Christians should not keep the Sabbath because it's part of Judaizing. However, this council, first of all, it's considered to be a minor council. So there's 7 major ecumenical councils. Not that I would agree with everything that was said in the first 7 ecumenical councils. In fact, that's not the case. And I actually have been pondering this as well, but that's for another show. But the Council of Laodicea is considered a minor council. And some of the things that they determined were fishy at best. But it's interesting because at the Council of Laodicea, they decided that the Sabbath shouldn't be kept on Saturday. This actually was not standardized until at least 100 to 150 years after the Council of Laodicea. Now, certainly there were Christian churches that were worshiping on Sunday. I'm not denying that. But it was mixed. There were Christian churches that were still meeting on Saturday, on the Sabbath day, well after the Council of Laodicea. And there's good evidence to prove this. And so all of this to say that certainly in the 50s, the idea that the Sabbath was changed to Sunday, I don't think that there's any historical evidence for this whatsoever. Now, I know that people are going to point to the several places within the Apostolic Scriptures that say, and they met on the first day of the week. I don't see this as a problem. In fact, I don't understand why this would make us think that they changed the Sabbath to Sunday. Basically, what I see is much later, hundreds of years later, people trying to take things that the church decided and anachronistically read them back into the first century text of our Bible. And so the point is a very good point by Evelyn. And the answer is, I don't think that the church had any idea that the Sabbath was done away with, and so or changed to Sunday. And so when we read Romans 14 in that light, in the idea that no one believed that the Sabbath was done away with or that it was changed to Sunday, now all of a sudden we come to the text of Romans 14. No one's thinking, oh, of course he's doing away with the Sabbath. That would be because in the first century mindset of both Jews and Christians, the Sabbath was a covenantal marker forever. It is a sign between me and your fathers forever, that in 6 days God made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. Genesis 2, right? So the point is that from the beginning of creation, it was a sign forever. And we see this time and time and time and time again throughout the scriptures. So for a first century Jew and even a believing Jew in the first century to come to Romans 14 and say, oh, of course, God did away with the Sabbath, that would take that wouldn't happen. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.